Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. You all know who you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth and this divine energy essence of it all. As usual, reporting to you from nowhere other than dimension number 5. We are stepping up into the next levels of this dimension. So, as usual, I'm here to bring you the news, to infuse the cosmic news, the galactic news, if you choose to infuse with it on the light grid. If not, you could always refuse, but be prepared to be fried and on the grid. And it's a whole lot of frying going on, but for good reasons, like some good cooking. Like I'm hearing that song in my head. I got that good food, like it's good food cooking. So with that, let's jump right in. Well, before I do, let's do a little house cleaning. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment if you dare. If you don't have anything to say, but you want to comment, just leave some emojis, hit that notification button if you want to get a reminder of when I'm either going live or just, sharing some of these cosmic hits with you. With that, there's the calendars. Don't forget the 5D calendars are at a 5D quarter near you. And believe me, this is the time that you want to have this 5D calendar, especially for those of us who are taking a day out of time, who have learned about the day out of time as I have been expressing. And in case you've come across it somewhere else on your feed, and maybe I was just confirmational, or maybe I said it and they were confirmational, but somehow you are coming online and coming into the awareness of the Mayan New Year, the day out of time, our ancient ones' New Year. That is really what I now call the ascension time. It's every year we get a chance to spiral up and ascend in our soul. So, to let your soul glow. So this is a time of the year that we want to attune to. So if you can get that 5D calendar, because like I said, if you're learning, see, the wisdom in the wind is like, dang, that's for those who can hear the wind. It's nudging you to say it's about time. The calendar is to help you get out of the Gregorian calendar. So if you want to practice how to have a day out of time, which is helping you to be out of the body. Out of time is out of the body, because we're vessels in time. Our vessel is a time vessel. Right? This is how we time travel. This is our time traveling suit. Ashe. So get that calendar. All you have to do is email me at akilatextry@gmail.com. I put the link below, the email address below for you to get that link. And is there anything else? Any other reminders? The attunement. The attunement is tomorrow. For those who see it tomorrow, then the attunement will be today if you see this tomorrow. And it's going to be fairly, well, it depends on where you are in the world. If you're in Eastern time, it's going to be a bit early. You may be at work. So you have to make a conscious decision to say if this is for you. If this is for you, if you are ready and willing to show up for yourself in that way, what are you willing to sacrifice to be in that space and be available in that space? Because that's what it takes. It's like having a deep meditation. We had one. It was successful. It was beautiful. People were saying, what they felt. I'm not going to go too much into that because it will not be televised. You would have to be there. And not only that, I'm not soliciting it. I'm really repeating it to those who have those ears to hear and who its truth resonates with, and who may have said, man, I didn't get to catch that one. So you have that opportunity to do this one. I'm being guided to do it on the 12th, which is when the gate is closing. The seal of the Lion's Gate, we're sealing it all up. So that will be mañana. So if you want this, if you want me to get your information, send it to me quickly. To have quick communication, when you email me, send me your number. Definitely send me your phone number. You can send me your birthday. Thank you for those who have sent me your birthday and your chart, especially if you want a chart reading, a natal reading. You have to, when you send it to me, send me your natal chart. But specifically for this attunement, send me your phone number so that I can get the link more direct to you quickly, more efficiently. Ashe. Ashe. So with that, this full moon, I want to do a post review reflection on the full moon, and I may have to do it in 2 pieces because there was so much going on with this full moon. And mind you, it's in the middle of our ascension, and I am highly focused on the ascension time and the halls of Amenti, and that has been my main focus in spiritual work. So I find that I wasn't even quite able to work with the moon in the way that I usually do, but that's okay because I do it every month anyway, right? And before that, we had been working on it. Our community had been working on releasing fears as they were coming up the week before with the new moon, which is something we don't normally do. We usually do manifestations with the new moon. But we realized we were manifesting, I should say, and we realized that we were manifesting releases that were coming up, things we needed to release. And that's what this moon came to give us a boost. This was a kaleidoscope. This was a what I call a cosmic kaleidoscope, this type of full moon right here, because things were just all over the place. We had all kind of trines, sextiles. You have an envelope. If those of you who have seen chart videos where it literally looks like an envelope where it's pointing to Uranus, which is change. So for a lot of you who have been seeing 555 or 5 anywhere, or numbers that add up to 5, because you're being made aware of change. You are calling change into yourself, because remember, these numbers, these angel numbers and synchronicities that you're seeing fall in alignment with what you send out, what you're emitting and sending out there. It is fractals of light that are coming off of you, spewing from you, sending it out there. You're emitting it out there, and this is how it replays back to you for confirmation or for guidance, to show you that this is where you are, or this is where you're going, this is what's happening. It's confirmation that, yep, this is it. So if you've been seeing that 5, that means not only are you just seeing the universe tell you about change, but somehow you are emitting an awareness of this change. You are in alignment with it, or you're emitting these energies that says, I'm in awareness of change. Whether consciously or subconsciously, you are seeing, you are noticing some drastic changes. And maybe subconsciously, you are preparing yourself for it. You are ready for it. There's the cosmic you deep down in there that is saying, I've been waiting on this, let me at him. Get me up beam me up, Scotty. Like, get me to the conscious phase of mind. It wants to be birthed. It wants to be birthed out of the earth. It wants to come up and say, hey, I'm here. See me. Please let me be aware. Let my consciousness be in full aware. I don't want to just stay in the subconscious of the mind, in feeling and in memory. I need you to shine the light. I need to be illumined. I need to be brought into the conscious phase of mind, right? Which is ego, pretty much. Not bad ego, but your wise ego. If you choose to let it be wise, but your will be brought to the sunlight, be brought into the Christos light. It wants to be anointed with this light, from the wisdom to the light, right? Out of the darkness of the wisdom into the light, into the illumination of the light. This is what wants to be brought up. Change. And all of this is a major change. Uranus says it all. Everything that's happening, this full moon, is really a boost to what's happening in the ascension window. Halls of Amenti, 8-8 Lionsgate, whatever you choose to call it, it is definitely a boost to that. So with that, I've been talking about it, the Halls of Amenti and what it means, and so I don't really want to go too much into that. I want to talk more about the full moon and how it's boosting us and what's to come at the end of this full moon. And on the 12th, it's like we're closing something out here. So, and there's a lot happening around this full moon. It's like there's this, I want to say, in between the stars, in between the cosmos, there's something major happening, and it is overall calling for a release to relearn. This full moon, which is in Aquarius, is in the age of the knowing. Well, it's in the Aquarius, which is known as the knowing. So the Aquarian age is the age of the knowing. So it's really like this cosmic spotlight that is boosting us. I believe I had wrote down something. I had some kind of insight on it that was looking at this cosmic spotlight. So let me just say it this way, and then I'll go into whatever else is on the charts. This full moon in Aquarius that is shining its cosmic spotlight on the path of the Aquarian age. So it's lighting up the Aquarian age. It's fully supporting the ascension time through the halls of Amenti, also the 8-8 gate, with the confidence of the lion within self, through the understanding of the heart in the love frequency. So it's bringing all of that. It's working even with the solar plexus and the heart. That's what I see there. The courage, the confidence, that's the solar plexus, and into the heart. This particular full moon was definitely engaging the solar plexus and the heart to face the deep tissue traumas across multiple lifetimes and timelines that breaks the illusions of fear to embody the ascension light code. So it was really helping to support what's happening in the ascension time, if that makes sense, because the ascension window is from July 26th to August 12th. And so just before, a couple days before August 12th, really at the end of the second phase of this, entering into the third phase of this ascension time, which the second phase is acceleration and the third phase is more like an acclimation. This is where you may have been feeling a lot of release this weekend, and the full moon definitely helped with bringing up the things that we need to see and what we need to release. So it was definitely engaging those deep tissue issues, and it was to break the illusions of fear, to embody the ascension light codes and change. There's that word change, and change to the true timeline perspective in this cosmic upgrade, because it is a major cosmic upgrade. I'd have to say this is one of the most important full moons all year. I think every astrologer, astronomer, just looking at what's happening in the stars, it's the most full moon. It's the most important, whatever you want to call it, the most powerful full moon. Right? So there's more that I had to say, but I may say this a little bit later or now, because it was just like a side note, noticing what's happening in this time lapse. For some people, it's like having this outer body experience, because that's what the halls of Amenti is. It's about breaking so many illusions that you put that body down. And so you're leaving that old body, you're leaving that old storyline that's connected. When I say body, I mean the part of the mind-body complex that is connected to everything in the flesh or the carnal mind, the very physical based mind. You're putting that down and you're completely shifting into a new paradigm of yourself. Your consciousness is like rearranging, major changes. And that's why a lot is pointing, this full moon in itself is highlighting so much major change that is happening, which is what Uranus is. It's that disruptive kind of change. It's that revolutionary change that we need to have. So something that I want to point out that came to mind as I was speaking to someone today earlier, and they were saying how they were breaking the fears. They realized they were seeing things were coming up. This is the release. Allow the release to happen. If you feel something, don't try to hide it. Allow it to happen. And the full moon is very good at helping that, because it brings up the tides of emotions in you. And this one is really doing that to help us. You know, it's as if for those who are going through the halls of Amenti, if you weren't quite getting that spot, right? You weren't quite getting that itch, and you were going, oh, I don't get it. The full moon came along to say, bam, like it's either came to give you the thrust that you need to get over that wall, that wall that's blocking a certain dimension in your mind, a certain concept in your mind. It's that boost that came to say, hey, see this, feel this. This is what you're feeling. This is what's there. It's bringing that up. And I say that to say this, that they were saying they realized that the mirrors were coming up for them, and it was bringing up maybe some past fears, childhood fears, some fears that were coming up. And As she said that, I could hear spirit say yes, because the mirrors are the fear. So when we're transmuting fear, we're really facing those mirrored reflections of truth within ourselves. We're allowing the earth, we're allowing the reflections in life to bring it to us. Not so we could be mad at it, not so we could complain about it, gossip about it, go into the pity story, woe is me. It's not about that. It's bringing it to you to help you. So I'm just hearing that, all that speedy, some of us speeding by so fast that we're not hearing. We're creating all this noise and all this chatter, and we're not allowing ourselves to see what we came here to see. And so the full moon every month gives us an opportunity to do that as this cosmic spotlight. And this particular one was a major one, big time. That's saying it's really pulling us through the halls of Amenti. It's really aiding us all the way around with, it's not just the moon, but the moon and its friends and its homies, this whole cosmic conglomerate that was happening during this full moon, right? We can't leave out Pluto. Like if I have time, I want to be able to look at each planet, because they're all so interconnected in the way that they have been showing up. There's a couple of trines, there's a couple of sextiles, but the major ones are ones like Pluto. Pluto is, the full moon is in Aquarius, so it's there with Pluto. Pluto is with it, and Pluto is about that revelation. So whatever is coming up, it's coming up so that you can have a true revelation, a true revealing that is going to bring you to the healing that you're looking for, the healed nurturer that needs to happen within, in the emotional body, in the pain body, where we keep emotional things stored up inside of us. It's to bring it up for us to say, hey, look at this. Because the only way you're going to be free and empowered, it's about personal power. But for you to have that personal power, some ugly truths have to be revealed. And we say ugly, but it's really not that ugly, especially when you change your perspective and you truly have gratitude for what is coming to you and how it's helping you. So is it really ugly? To the surface mind, to the misappropriated ego, it is. To the parasite that is attached to your misappropriated ego, it is. And it feels so humdrum. But if we change, if we allow ourselves to be pulled into that Uranus energy, that Uranian energy, then we can change the perspectives and see how all of this is a part of the plan, our divine plan, part of the divine matrix, or the convoluted universe as it is. But you are a part of that because you're multidimensional. And we're in this multidimensional world with multidimensional beings. So we got a lot of dimensions and angles of light going in all kind of directions. So you bet it is convoluted. It is, and that's why we can't try to understand it all. But I digress. Let me not go too, because I want to look at the placements, right? We have the opposition. What I want us to look at, the full moon, is when the sun and the moon is in opposition. And so the sun is in Leo. The moon is in Aquarius, and they are in opposition to each other. And the sun is our outer world, the moon is our inner world. And what I'm looking at, what I was seeing and what I was getting through this is that, being that the moon wants to bring us in our inner parts of our inner world, the knowing. It wants us to know. It's bringing us to the knowing of true self, the balance. Just because they're in opposition doesn't mean we need to play them against each other. The opposition poses us the opportunity to have a balance. It's to bring them into balance. We need a little bit from here, we need a little bit from here. But what do we need? And this is where the other cosmic bodies play a part with you personally. If you know your personal natal chart as well, you know how it applies to you particularly. But let's just speak, for all of us, for the way it applies to all of us. And meaning where all these planets are and what they're saying to all of us. We're going to more look at it in that way. But as we focus on the opposition that is seeking balance, what are we balancing? Well, let's look at what the knowing is. The knowing is half the battle. That's for my G.I. Joe people. And knowing is half the battle. But the knowing is not to be a know-it-all. Finding the balance in the knowing is not to be that know-it-all, right? Sometimes Aquarians have that problem because it is, an air sign. It is of the mind as well, and it is very like knowing things. And sometimes it can be that you're so stuck in knowing that you become this know-it-all, and a know-it-all that wants to know it all for all, right? And meaning imposing on others, because remember, Aquarius is also humanitarian. It's about collaboration. It's about others, right? Not just the me, but others. So I know it all, and I know it all for you. And the balance is being able to pull that back some and say, yes, I know, but it's not to know it. It's not to be a know-it-all for everyone. If it's to know myself, it is to know the truth of myself and how I show up. And in doing so, exemplify that. And that knowing will be the knowing that shows all. That knowing of self, when exemplified, will be the show and tell for all. But see, this is something that we have to understand with these energies, with the Aquarian energy. If we get carried away, we'll just be know-it-alls. And the balance on the Leo end, the Leo is more about me, the self, the me, the courageous lion. And sometimes when we go too far into that, it's all about me, and not thinking about how you show up in the world, not thinking about how you even impose on others in the world, because you can only see you, and you can't see beyond you. Meaning, even if you're going through stuff, it's like you can't see beyond how it makes you feel, and your how you want to shine and be courageous through that. So the balance to that would be to bring that back a little bit and be a humble lion, not the arrogant lion that is so stuck on pride of itself, because through the wounds and the feelings, only thinking about your feelings, then you kind of get this pridefulness, this arrogance, and that's what's happening in the outer world. There's this thing that's oscillating kind of in the outer world, where people are trying to figure out whether they want to be humble. They want to be humble, but then they don't want people to trample over the humble lion, right? They want to be courageous and do what needs to be done, but it depends on how they're feeling about self. This is why it's good to have good thoughts about self. And so the balance to that is using the knowing of Aquarius, the inner knowing, to do a deeper dive within yourself, to know the true self, to know what is true about you personally, because this is also your soul journey. So to help you with this balance, to help you go in through even this ascension time with really focusing on your cosmic soul journey, not that person, not what it means to so and so, and how it, it's to really focus on you and being brave enough to be true to you. That's the courageous lion that is operating with that fire that fuels the light that burns inside. And the wind from Aquarius should be able to blow its knowledge, its inner knowing, onto those fires, to fan the flames of that fire, to be courageous in its step towards your cosmic ascension. Right? So not courageous, not brave to keep holding to old timelines and protecting old stories in your soul and in your mind. And that's where I see that kind of balancing is happening and want to be had. So if you find yourself just really clinging to how you feel and how something makes you feel, come out of your feelings, come above your feelings, get out of the drowning waters of your feelings and walk on water. Christ consciousness. Walk with understanding, with love, in the love frequency that's going to give you the patience to be courageous, to be the courage of the lion and have the courage to stand up for who you are in truth, not the courage to defend yourself against pains. It's a fine line. So this full moon is really helping to bring that knowing, that saying, know thyself. Since you're about yourself, know thyself. Before retaliating, before having certain thoughts towards things and people, know thyself. And look at the fears that are coming up for you. That's why this full moon is helping with those mirrored reflections in the hallways. It's bringing it up for you to look at, not for you to fuss at everybody else out there in the world. And so the solar plexus, I have to talk about this because as I was going through this, I saw, for those who know me, I look at things through the chakras. Let me say that. And I noticed that on Friday, on the 8/8, it was a solar plexus heart day. And on Saturday, it was the flip. It was a heart solar plexus day. And it just confirmed it today as I was sitting outside and I kept seeing this yellow butterfly fluttering around amongst the green leaves. I kept seeing yellow and green, yellow and green. And this is something that has been being echoed specifically over the weekend as the full moon was coming up. As I looked at those 2 days, I even ate fruits. For my chakra fruits, I specifically had pineapple and kiwi. Like my fruit bowl was a yellow and green dish. So it was really being highlighted that this solar plexus is coming online to us. It's not a matter of coming online. I don't even want to use that word because I don't like to just throw words out like that. But the solar plexus is bringing us our wisdom. For those of us who are allowing ourselves to tap into that Sophia's wisdom and release the feminine energy, it is really helping boosting our solar plexus and giving it the wisdom that it needs. It's the wisdom of the gut. So it's giving it the wisdom it needs in order to be a wise ego, and giving you the courage, the confidence. In the solar plexus is a boost in your confidence through the heart. It's helping us to work this through the heart, through the heart, as in even the pulsations of the earth. That's how I was looking at these. We're in the pulsations of the earth. We're feeling it, and we're feeling the codes that are coming down through the heart from the crown. We're opening up our crown, letting in the light and letting it come through the heart. And once it comes through the heart, it is going to give unto the solar plexus. So the day before, it was a solar plexus that is building up its courage to support the pulsations of the heart, to support what is true onto the heart, so that you can self-actualize and step into that love frequency. The courage to be authentic, to step into your authenticity of who you're truly here to be. And then the next day on the flip, it's the heart solar plexus. So coming from the heart to the solar plexus, the heart is where all the light codes have come through the crown, bringing it down into the heart and ready to send it down into the solar plexus. So it is through the heart, and the heart is what gives it its understanding, its love. And that love and understanding is able to give into the solar plexus, which gives it courage through comfort, through confidence. I don't even want to say comfort, but comfort in its confidence that allows courage to be used in the right way, because it's coming from the heart. It's coming through the heart and through the love frequency, which is going to help you not be so stuck on self, for those who are balancing those Leo, the sun in Leo energies. And is going to help you to not be that know-it-all that's just throwing things out there when it comes to the Aquarius. So this is how we utilize even the chakras. Utilize your chakras from the solar plexus. You can even meditate with it. You can listen to a combo meditation if you can find one with the heart and the solar plexus. Just put it in solar plexus combo meditation with heart. and see, while you're listening to it, just kind of flip like this, using your hands, your portal palms, to kind of just flip the energies, focusing on engaging what I just told you, engaging the solar plexus into the heart, engaging the heart into the solar plexus, so that you are able to build that courage through the love frequency, and you're able to allow that love to also give into your courage. So that was something that I definitely wanted to tie that in with understanding the chakras aspect, and how we are strengthening ourselves through that. Right? So with that, there is also, let's look at the planets that we're looking at now. Let's look at Mercury, because Mercury just went direct today. Happy direct Mercury in direct today. So it's coming forward. Let's see what we were plunging out of the depths of communication as it went into deep retrograde, taking us into deep issues in our tissues, um, deep into the soul. And as I said, it was working hand in hand with Chiron, who is the bringing up the wounds that we need to look at over multiple lifetimes and timelines. So Mercury really did the do with the full moon being here. It was helping it. This was full moon was what, the 9th. So right when it's about to get ready, it's getting ready to go direct. So on the tail end of it, here comes the full moon, just in case you didn't allow Mercury to work with you. Here it is, and Mercury is helping to take you that deep. And while Mercury was down there, this came to me today, that Mercury being in Leo, which is a fire sign. I may have to save this for story time. That's how Spirit is showing me. Like, there's a story that comes with this. There's an allegory story, or like how they have those Gnostic stories that really tell a story about how the consciousness is moving through you. Right? Just like all of these cosmos are doing. These are the cosmos in you, and the cosmos in me. All of this that's happening out there, it's interrelated. It's pointing you to you. And so what's happened with Mercury in the fire signs, I will say this, is it has something also to do with the ring of fire, volcanic activity, because it's going that deep, and it's taking us that deep, even to a geological standpoint, if that makes sense, to a planetary standpoint, which is very connected with us. It's very interplanetary, if that makes sense, or intra within us. And it's taking this deep plunge to bring this up, to help rise. This ring of fire is like the light within, and to help bring up that light that within, which is the wisdom, which is the Sophia. So I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna give the story as it was revealed to me. I also wanted to highlight that because it played a part this week in Mercury taking us that deep, and I want to say it so that we understand it in our consciousness. It's to help bring the eruption of light, of wisdom and light within our soul. It's to help light up and spew this light up, to spew up all this wisdom that we've come here to be. It is that time. And that's what Mercury is like, pulling us, it's plunging us deep to pull us out. So this going direct now is like it's plopped us up now. And now as we're going direct, a lot of us are going to see with more clarity. Clarity is going to be our, what do you call it? I said it the other day. Clarity is consumption of the soul, or the consumer of the soul, because the soul is consuming clarity right now. That's the good news. I got that good news. That's the good news. So now with Mercury going direct in communication, whatever it is brought up, if you have allowed yourself to utilize it in that way, it is now bringing clarity into your soul. It went deep to retrieve the truths that Pluto in Aquarius was working with the moon to help you see and reveal. And now it's bringing that up and going direct, and it's saying, now go forward with that. if you have in fact chose that, because everything is choice. You can be carried to the depths. Mercury has carried everybody there, but not everybody is seeing it. If you're still in a victimhood mentality, if you're not balancing that Leo and Aquarius axis that I had been talking about, if you're too busy being on self and being that arrogant lion that is still in pride, then you may not see it. So it's just because we say that these are the things that it represent, you may hear other, star people, cosmic people saying, hey, this is for that. But if you don't work it, see, I ain't lied. It works if you work it. If you don't show up for yourself, and if you're not being true to you. This is why it's having the courage to be true. Having the courage to face those things that you don't like to see in you. But be willing to say, yes, this is true of me. And now it can fall away. Yes, this is true. This has been happening. And the truth about that is the fear that is based in that is an illusion. It's a mirror that needs to be broken. And once you break that mirror, now you have a true new perspective. A true new perspective that gives you that next timeline, which is the next story within your mind. And I want us to understand that too. I probably got to do a video on that. Because we keep saying timelines, and that's something that I saw come up as well. And at first it was like, what's wrong with timelines? But now I'm seeing it. Timeline is a story in our consciousness, in the souls of our mind. It is that. So what storyline are you on? It's the same thing as saying, what timeline are you on? And all of this is helping to bring us to this ascension time, this ascension storyline. Ashe? Let me see if there's anything else. There is, but I think I'll speak about that. There's another message I got that kind of ties to this, about having that confidence that you heard me talk about, that this ego, it's confident in its walk to do the right thing. And this has more to do with the message about the feminine rising. So I'm going to speak on that. And I wanted us to know that this confidence is giving us the walk to do the right thing as we embody the faith of intuition and wisdom. But this confidence is coming from both ends. It's coming from within, in the ego as well as with the feminine energies. Confident in her wisdom. In her wisdom to know the difference between the two, which is that true discernment. This is what's helping us right now and what we're moving towards. And I'm speaking in the consciousness of our soul. Right? These planets are all out there, but they're simply here to help. See, Spirit know how to take me here, there, and I didn't even get to talk about Uranus. I did, but not in the way I wanted to. So I want to say this, that the thing to look out for is the planet of Mars, that we have a grand air trine that was happening during this time. And this is Mars in Libra taking initiative. Mars takes initiative, but in Libra, it second guesses itself. So this weekend, you might have felt like, I don't know, maybe overthinking it a little bit before making that move. And the other planet, the air sign, Pluto in Aquarius, and we talked about that already. And the other air sign is Uranus in Gemini, and they're all at about 1 degree, 2 degrees for Pluto, but 1 degree Uranus, 1 degree Mars, which today it brings in all these ones and ones, right? It's the 11th, so those are 2 ones. And then you have 1 degree Mars and Uranus. You have, what else? Where did I see a 1? If you add up all the days, all the numbers of today's date, it gives you a 1. It gives you a 10, which 10 is 1. So it gives you this new beginning as well, this new beginning feeling as Mercury is going direct. And then Mercury also has is it Mercury, Mars, Mercury, the fire sign that points to, there's an envelope that points to, like the way the envelope is shaped, it points to Uranus. And I believe it's by Mercury to, Mercury across to the fire signs over there. which is Saturn and Neptune. So Mercury to Saturn and Neptune, and then they kind of point to, it's like it's a sextile. It's not a trine, but it's a sharp little acute looking triangle top of the envelope that's pointing to Uranus. So whatever's happening with Mercury, that information that we're getting, the deep astral travel that is across, that's in a trine over to Neptune and Saturn. So communicating this information with Saturn, which the trine is usually something good. So it's kind of helping with the communication of what Saturn is saying, what Saturn wants us to do, with having accountability, which they too are in retrograde, and the communication of what's happening with Neptune, with the dreams and aspirations of Neptune, and they're all pointing to Uranus. So there's this change that is happening because of that interaction right there. They're both sextile. Yes, sextile. Mercury is sextile to Uranus, and the other two are sextile to Uranus as well. So it's helping out with the situation. Sextile is also a good thing. It's more subtle than the trine, but both are usually harmonious and helping out. So that's helping to bring that good news again with Mercury in this sextile and in the trine across from Saturn. So it's bringing that good news that we need to infuse with. There's so, well, where's another planet? We know where Chiron is. There is the nodes of fate. There is North Node, something that is going to be leading up to the North Node, which we're coming up to the eclipse, and the eclipse is going to activate the nodes next month. So we'll get into that later. But whatever is happening now, there's something that is happening now with where, who is in a water sign, with who is in Cancer. Okay, thank you, Spirit. And I was going to talk about that because that is for tomorrow, and I may not be coming on tomorrow. Yeah, I was on a lot this week preparing for this whole gateway and closing it out tomorrow. So after that, there's going to be a bit of space and rest. Anywho, I digress. Tomorrow, Venus and Jupiter are going to be in their conjunction, and tomorrow is and it's also on this closing out of our gateway. So, and they are the two very beneficial planets. Like whenever you hear about Venus and Jupiter, the planet of beauty with the planet of expansion, is like expanding beauty. So they work very well together when they come together, and they're going to be together in Cancer. Cancer being that home sign, and they're probably going to help bring beauty, expansion of beauty into what is happening in Cancer right now, with things that are being expanded in terms of family and home life, and the nurturing, the unhealed nurturer, the feminine energy, the mother, maternal and matriarchal energy that's really asking for this healing. And so this will help to bring the beauty in it. And this sign in Cancer is also has a trine to the water sign of our North Node. So their interaction is going to be helping us in a few when it gets a bit closer in orbit, because right now they're in the beginning, probably about 14 degrees, and our North Node is in, they're a couple of degrees out. The North Node in Pisces is in about 20 something degrees. So they're a bit distant in their orbit, in their type of orbit and conjunction that they're in. But when they get closer, it's going to, as Jupiter and Venus moves a little closer, Venus is going to be moving a little faster. It's going to help bring that beauty and that amplified beauty, that expanded beauty into the North Node, of where we are looking to expand in our spirituality. All of this is helping us in that northward trajectory. So all of this is key point, because hear what I'm saying, expanding into that spirituality. This ascension time is giving us an opportunity to step into that expansion, to step into this spiritual house, the cosmos, representing the newt in the cosmos. That is what the house of Pisces is, and that's where our north node is. But right now we're dealing with the meticulous little details, and as we go into Virgo season, we're really going to be activating that south node. So everything that we've been doing now is preparing us as well for what needs to be dealt with the south node. Mars was giving us a little prep step when Mars was moving through Virgo and came into conjunction with our south node to kind of take initiative of where we need to be seeing things different, service and things like that. So with that, I'm gonna leave it at that, because this is, like I said, it's so much. I know I said I'm gonna have to do a part 2, and I'm gonna close out that message there. So any reminders? Look out for story time, because I'm going to do a story time about an allegory story of what's happening with this ring of fire and as what Mercury pertains to it. Take the rest that you need. Utilize what has been happening with this full moon that is carrying us, supporting the ascension. And look out for on Wednesday. It's almost like we're going to have the Pleiades. What is it? I can't remember the word, this shower. We're having a meteor shower, and it's almost like, to me, the fireworks at the end of all of this. So for those who get it or see it, that meteor shower between the 12th and the 13th is really celebrating what we're closing out with this Halls of Amenti, with this ascension, with you getting your cosmic citizenship and having all this release, the release to relearn, to rise and return to our true self and our higher dimensions. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful time. So remember, tomorrow, for those who want the attunement, it is tomorrow. Email me your number for quicker response, and I will send you the coordinates for that particular attunement that closes out and seals this gateway. It's been a beautiful walk through the hallways of Amenti with you all. And with that said, each one reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. Peace, love, and light.